Thank you. Alright. Draft underway. This pack is rather lackluster, to be brutally honest with you. What do we think? Oh, I am bleeding a little bit. Sorry, I might have to keep an eye on that. Uh, Overwhelming Splendor, obviously super powerful if you end up in exactly the right deck for it. But it's a bit narrow. Hellrider is damn powerful, but only really in mono red. We haven't drafted mono red yet. Am I wrong for wanting to try and draft mono red? Probably, but I've not done it yet. And the goal today was to try and draft things I have not drafted yet. So let's take an aggressive Hellrider and see if we can end up being some kind of aggro deck. Okay, every part of me wants to take Mirari's Wake, because that's the kind of human being that I am. However, Honored Crop Captain and Tajik both fit very well into like red-white aggro, which might be something that we're able to do. And I guess Tajik is the more unique effect. Crop Captain is just a good 2-drop that's more replaceable. So let's take Tajik. Let's see if we can end up in like Boros or Mono Red, something like that. Goblin Chain Whirler. I do like to whirl some chains. I could alternatively take History of Benalia, which plays better with Hellrider, but would mean we have to be more white-centric, which is not good with Hellrider. So I think I'm just going to take this Chain Whirler, with the hopes that we can still be mono-red. This pack would disagree with me. I will take Glorybound Initiate. Go on. I want to try and draft the monocolored decks a little more if I can, because we just haven't had the opportunity to. Patient Rebuilding is absurd, obviously, but oh, come on, man. Am I supposed to pass this? Like, I guess I'm supposed to take Goblin Banneret. I'm not enjoying this as much as I thought. I thought drafting an aggro deck could be cool, but I'm just having to pass all these ridiculous bomb cards that I wish I was taking. Hopefully it pays off. Fingers crossed. Let us see. Where are the packs at? They're actually kind of all over the place, so no one to yell at today. I will take Experimental Frenzy. See if we can curve out at 4. Let's go. Hopeful we could still be mono red at this time. None of these are great, honestly. I guess Akuma Warrior is playable. Wow. Loads of junk coming back around, unfortunately. Nothing good for us. Shepherd of the Flock is playable in a pinch, if necessary. Oh. Slaughter Priest Amogus, I guess, in case we end up being red-black, because we could be red like red-black sack if we ended up in the right scenario. So maybe that's possible. Could be Mardu sack. Could end up in Mardu sack. We'll diversify ourselves a little bit. Obviously, these cards are not all going to end up in the same deck, but we'll take a couple of picks that give us some options for pack 2 and pack 3. Wow, Sphinx's Revelation going very late. Going to take this Village Rites. Obviously, be very good if we end up in the Sacrifice deck. So, happy to snap that up. Bum ba dum bum bum. Yeah, Cathartic Reunion. Not going to see play, but you never know. Last pick, Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Okay. I get the feeling we're supposed to be trying to move into either red-black or into Mardu Sack. So let's try and do that. Primarily red-black, obviously. And in that case, there's actually a couple of cards that I want from this pack. Both Gutterbones and Knight of the Airborne Legion are rather good. Chandra, Acolyte of Flame is fantastic with Priest of the Forgotten Gods. It also plays really well with like Hidden Stockpile. It plays well with like Village Rites and the Steel effects, should you get any of those. Think, given that I'm looking to be base red, I'm just going to take this Chandra. And hopefully one of the two 1-drops wheels and comes back around to me. Hopefully. Cruel Celebrant is quite hot. I'm told Witch of the Moors is quite good, but we don't actually have that many ways of gaining life right now. So let's take this Cruel Celebrant. I'm going to try and be Mardu. Let's try and be Mardu Sacrifice. Chandra, Torture, Defiance. Get in my deck. I would love this Fatal Push, but this card is busted. So yes. Okay. Would like the Witch's Oven, but there's a good chance this table's Heartless Act is pretty premium, so we'll have that. Insult to Injury or Young Pyromancer? That's actually quite an interesting question. I think Peasy's pretty good, but we don't trigger it very well. But Insult to Injury is kind of lackluster. I'll take Peasy. I think we can try and draft with this in mind, perhaps. Bastion of Remembrance. Please get in my deck. Captivating Crew. Please get in my deck. Alright. This is shaping up alright. Gonna need to narrow this down and cut away some of the fluff, but it is looking good. I'll take Magma Quake. I don't think I'm ever going to play it, but I might sideboard it in certain matchups. My Kingdom for Mayhem Devil. Mayhem Devil is the card I definitely want the most. Wow, they both tabled, but so did Isolated Chapel. I need some lands. I could just be red-black, though. It would suck to lose Cruel Celebrant and Stockpile, but I think it's actually correct for me to take Knight of the Airborne Legion. Alright. Hopefully I can pick up a land or two in pack 3 to kind of smooth things over a little bit, because I don't really think I'm playing Tajik. I'm not playing Glorybound Initiate. The white cards I care about are these two. This could be really sweet to play. Needs a couple of missing pieces. Mayhem Devil really is the big one. But it could be sweet. We're not playing any of these, so I'll take Niv Mizzet for, you know, comedy equity. But it can draw my Cruel Celebrant. Witch's Oven is nice. We'll grab that. Good chance we want this. This deck's looking like it's going to be real hot if we can pick up the couple of little tiny pieces that we're missing. We want Act of Treason, we want Claim the Firstborn, we want Mayhem Devil. Those are the big ones. Trim down some of the fluff. Well, I guess Vengeful Rebel might be okay in a deck like this. Alright. Come to Papa. None of those things, unfortunately. We could take Bolus's Citadel, but that seems super ambitious. I think I'm just on board with taking a Braid, because it is the most all-round flexible card. But I could take Shatterskull Smashing, which is a fantastic piece of removal, but does require a lot of mana for the most part. Think I'm on a Braid over Smashing, but that might be wrong. I think this is a little more flexible, so I'm going to take it. Don't see myself passing a Bone Crusher Giant. This card's just extremely good by itself. Would like Clifftop Retreat or Kazul's Fury to wheel from this pack, but pretty happy to just pick up Bone Crusher. Pretty happy just to pick up Vraska's Contempt. Just good, solid, powerful cards in the colours that we're in. Not so much synergistic, just kind of really good. Nothing great for us in this pack. I don't think we can really use Morang very well, unfortunately. And we're probably not much of a Bomat Courier deck either. I guess I can take Glass Casket. There's a chance I could side this in certain matchups if we end up with the White Splash. Blood Artist. Bullseye. Judith is not quite Mayhem Devil, but it's close. Looking like we might just be red-black here, folks. These white cards are just not going to be worth it with no lands to help us fix. This deck looks spicy AF, though. I am into this. Does cut me off of one of my best sacrifice outlets, though. Just a shame. Yeah, I like this. This deck's... I got all the nice bits except for Mayhem Devil. Mayhem Devil's the really big one that we're missing. And Claim the Firstborn. Anax is sweet in a deck like this. Robber of the Rich would be perfectly fine, but this plays so well with all the sacrifice triggers. So we'll grab ourselves an Anax. This can technically be a red-white land, but I think I've given up on that at this point. I already have so many playables. Okay, maybe. Maybe we get like Sacred Foundry and Isolated Chapel back, and we have a discussion to have. This deck is sweet. I'm a little worried about the mana. The mana is going to be dodgy, but otherwise. Yeah, I think I'm just taking Spikefield Hazard over Bolas' Citadel. We're never casting this, so get in my deck. Get in my deck. Pretty happy to take Kazul's Fury here, actually, as well. Pretty good sacrifice outlet staple to what is likely normally just a land to kind of tie things over. Oh. Don't think I'm ever playing via Shino Pyromancer, but you never know. Same with Grey Merchant. Not very good in this deck, but we're not playing anything else in that pack. Yeah, I find it hard to believe we're picking up anything that we care about here. We actually got the Inspiring Vantage, but I think it's almost certain that these white cards are not making the cut. Which is a shame, because they are both quite synergistic with what we're doing, but we'll live. We will live. Alright, got some cuts to make. So let's get these lands out of here. So I need 3 lands back. I am more red than black, so I think it's 2 mountains and a swamp is my initial assessment. I don't need to search the deck. I hate Arena so much. Alright, Montana. Grab me 2 mountains and a swamp. And then we can figure out what we're actually cutting from this pile of cards. So let's do that and go to swamp. Dun. Sure. Okay. So we got to make 5 cuts. So you are 2 of them because we're not playing the white cards. Let's see what is... I guess I probably can't play Goblin Chain Whirler in the 8 Swamp deck. That is probably ambitious. Do I gain life very easily in this deck now? We have Witch's Oven to make food. We have Blood Artist. We have Bastion of Remembrance. Vraska's Contempt. Yeah, I think this is probably just good enough to still make the cut. How many spell lands have I got? 1, 2, 3. I can probably just cut a land. Seems okay to play spell lands. And then the last cut is kind of hard. I think it's one of the crappy 1-drops. I think it ends up looking a bit like this. Deck actually looks really sweet. I'm looking forward to playing this. Let's go. Let's cook with some red-black, aggressively slanted sacrifice. I would have killed for Mayhem Devil. But you can't have everything you want. We will survive. Thanks again, everyone who's chilling with me today. Hopefully you're having a very Merry Christmas. This hand is kind of awkward. I think this is just about a keep off the back of a Braden to Chandra, because it means a black source is a good draw, red spells are good draws. It's definitely close there. Witch's Oven, sure. Opponent on mono red, maybe? Very nice mountains. Ember of Shieldbreaker? Excuse you? It's really rude. Alright. Chandra away. Let's start making some elementals. And then next turn they start pinging my opponent when they die. So, sounds good to me. Would have liked to weaponize the monsters as well, actually, to be fair. Opponent has Anax. I also have Anax. Think their Anax probably has to die. As much as I would like to spend the turn casting my Bastion, I don't think I can. Alright. Looking reasonable. Put it on like mono red sack by the looks of it. I would like to keep my Chandra safe. So, show me what you got. You could do that at any time, so that's fine. Cast the Ember of Shieldbreaker, you got it. Can't cast that Witch of the Moors just yet. Let's keep making elementals. Triggers. Oh man, I just love Aristocrats so much. It's just so much fun. If I draw a black source for this witch, this is going to get disgusting. Insult. Okay. Sure. Does take out the Chandra that way. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Anax or Priest. I think Priest is better. That was a nice little insult to use. Weaponize the monsters to kill my Chandra. It's nicely done. Tybalt. Okay. Okie dokie. Don't kill the priest. Ooh, this is getting sticky now. Opponent is admittedly running out of cards. Slowly but surely. I guess I do this because it means if they don't block, then Tybalt can't make another dude without dying. Sure, that's fine. I'd like a black source so I can cast this Witch of the Moors. Underworld Ragehound, sure, that's fine. More dogs. Dog Tribal. Wrong land. That's true, but it's just a 4/4 with Death Touch, right? Unfortunately, I'm just kind of stuck here. That insult to injury was insulting and injured me. Was unpleasant. Oh, that can't be allowed to happen. Didn't really want to lose my Anax, but sure. Opponent is admittedly slowly dying just from an inability to not stop this Bastion, but I am out of things I can actually do as it stands. Oh, of course. Mountain, the actual worst draw in the deck. Siege Gang Commander, yikes. That one's pretty good. This now just gets killed, which is very unfortunate. But I guess it's damage that isn't going up my face. I don't know. Bit of a rough game. Thought we were in decent shape, and then it very quickly fell apart. Yeah, this just has to happen over here, unfortunately. Opponent just throws 3 of these at my face. Is it two mana at a time? I forget. Yeah. Let's not make them waste their time. We are dead to Siege Gang Commander and or Weaponize the Monsters. Both of those are in fact the problem. I'm not changing anything, but that was a little unfortunate. The insult was very good at taking out Chandra. Otherwise, I think we win that game pretty handily. Oh well, it's fine. I think I keep this off the back of a Braid and Bonecrusher Giant. But obviously if I don't draw a 3rd land anytime soon, it's going to be rather embarrassing. Goblin Banneret. Please die. There is the 3rd land, so I think I just Bonecrusher here. I can take 3 and Braid that later. Yep. Oh, Anax of your own? Why do you have Anax every game, my dude? I know I've also had Anax every game, but it's not as good for me as it is for you. Weaponize again, showing it is... Oh, God, that is awful for me. Weaponize the monsters. What a magic card. Claim the Firstborn. Even better magic card. Jesus, Wep. Not sure there was very much I could do about that. Yeah, well, this block basically is always happening. Sends it at my face. Just sending it all at my face. Alright, well, I guess I'm dead to Ragehound next turn. That makes some sense. Did not draw a black source. Cannot gain life. This has been a very unfortunate pair of games, I think. Playing the Firstborn Weaponized was disgusting this time around. But this is 4 mana, right? So my opponent just sacks it off. Yeah. Well played by the opponent. They navigated that extremely well and figured out what they needed to do. But we definitely got a thorough kick-in at the hands of that mono red sacrifice player. Nice. Very nice. I'm going to take this opportunity to gift one more Collected Company code. So again, if you are in the market for a free extra life version of Collected Company, one more chance to get it in the chat for you now. Redeem that code in store and be the first person to do so, and it is all yours. Enjoy. Let's try and get into match number 2. See if we can do slightly better than that showing just there. He says, hopefully, with ambition in his heart, we will try. Not going to try and pronounce our opponent's name because I will butcher it into the floor. I mean, we've had a lot of these kind of hands so far with this deck. I'm not mulliganing it because it is a 2-lander, but if it never finds another one... Oh, are we getting milled? Oh, no. I don't know how we beat getting milled. Merfolk Secret Keeper. Toothmaker, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm doing just fine. Thank you for stopping by today and enjoy the rest of your Christmas. Hopefully I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Indeed, a little bit of mill on the horizon. Little teeny bit of mill. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do about this. I cannot cast 2 creatures currently. Mubs, I didn't see you. I'm sorry. I apologize. I missed your message. Merry Ice Christmas indeed. It's easy for me to miss that kind of stuff. I do apologize. How are you today? Hopefully you're having a lovely festive day as well, even if you aren't celebrating. I think I'm just going to pop this thing now that my opponent's played their land. Buys me plenty of time against it. Seems worthwhile. Alright. A little stuck on red this time for us, but... Looking okay. Casting Frenzy here is just too risky, I think. At work, last night shift. Fair enough, my man. Hopefully it's not too bad for you. And you get some enjoyment when you're done. Here's hoping. Let's do a little bit of mentoring here. We'll cast this oven and say go. Just looking to try and hit another land or two before we play this Frenzy. Use the cards in our hand a bit better. Yeah, opponent just misses the land drop and passes back to us, so I am happy to try and slam the switch of the Moors and see what happens. It does get disallowed, somewhat unsurprisingly. Ponk. It's kind of amazing to me that we struggled so much with finding a second black source in that first match, and now we're struggling to find a second red one. Guess that's what happens when you don't draft lands highly enough. Folio. Opponent definitely has the ability to mill us, alright. That thing is just getting blown up, though. Vraska's Contempt is certainly not a bad one. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. Yeah, you do certainly enjoy drafting some Gruul. Makes sense given the time of year. And also your affinity for Gruul. I've been trying to make myself do different stuff most of today. Just to try out some new bits and bobs. And, it's been fun, honestly. We've had very different decks every time that we've drafted the cube so far today. It's cool. Ba-dum-bum-ba-bum. That's kind of strange, Mobs, because honestly, green is kind of overdrafted in this cube because people know it's good. But if you keep getting past great green and red cards, then make the most of it and hoard in that free gold. Remorseful Cleric. Okay. Really not doing a good job at this whole land thing, am I? Do I care if my graveyard gets exiled? Not massively. I think I'm okay just making this attack. And then figuring out what I'm doing in my opponent's turn. Yep, take a point of damage. So I will probably aggressively Vraska's Contempt because I want to empty my hand a little bit for this frenzy. But not sure. We'll see. Let's take 2 here. Okay, opponent just does not want to tap out, so let's burn this. Embercleave is a heck of a drop, you're right. And sticking a sword on a ship sounds like a good time to me. Okay, happy to play this land first, and let's just pop this frenzy, see if it sticks, and figure out what our plan of action is from there. It does not stick. Alright, gonna need some more gas then, in which case we've drawn exactly 2 creatures all game, which is not ideal, to be honest. It's awfully hard to win games of Magic when you only have 2 creatures. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-dum, ba-bum. Opening Embercleave certainly helps, no doubt about that. Certainly puts you in a direction. Teferi's Tutelage, my opponent just has it all. Has all of the mill cards. Would like to have had that Chandra, I'll be honest. Slaughter Priest of Mogus. Okay, I guess I should start firing this off, really. It's going to be more damage in the long run. Let's take some priest shots. Really can't catch a break here, can we? Opponent will play out their shade again. It's kind of fine. Not massively worried about that. More worried about our inability to function. Well, that is a good one. Maybe not for this turn, but it is a good one in general. Would like it to resolve, please. You may Supreme Will. Oh. Definitely starting to flag a bit now. Tutelage mills us for a couple more cards, including the Hell Rider. We are down to 12 cards. This is not great. We're running out of things to be able to actually do to kill our opponent. There goes the Blood Artist. Definitely been a bit awkward this game. I'm fine taking these hits. It's no big deal. Not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing differently here. Did not really want to see another land, but I guess it's lets me steal two things. So, sure. Opponent will draw a card in response. Will mill me for two more. Mills Chandra and Judith. We're not having a great run of this, are we? Kill you. Nice. Alright, well, somehow we won that game, and I'm not entirely sure how. Definitely thought we were uber dead there for a while. Definitely thought we were in the uber dead category. I know, Mubs, I know. Crazy, right? Again, really nice to see so many new faces and returning faces checking in on over the festive season, coming having some fun, enjoying some magic. If you are new here, do consider chucking us a follow if you haven't done so already. It would be cool to see you again in the future. Alternatively, you can support what I'm doing this day and every day. Oh, speak of the devil. Choke on Milk. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Yeah, speak of the devil. Appreciate that. And of course, if you would like to support what I'm doing here this day and every day, donations, subscriptions, all that wonderful jazz. Help me keep the light on. Help me keep making content. and are very much appreciated. So thank you everyone for stopping by. Hopefully I've made your Christmas day a little bit better with some enjoyable cube. I'm really good, thank you, Choke on Milk. Having a good time playing some cube with my community who've been in and out over the course of the day. So it's been nice. Been a nice way to spend Christmas. How are you today? Hopefully you're having a lovely one too. This hand is good. Let's keep it. Jackbox? Probably not, honestly, Mubs. I kind of poked around to see if there would be interest in doing a Jackbox day today, and most people had other commitments, somewhat unsurprisingly, than playing around for a few hours, so... Very welcome. Lovely to see you here today. Think I'm going to aggressively kill this crab, because it will get out of hand if I don't. I would like to cast my Priest of the Forgotten Gods, but seems a bit sketchy leaving the crab alive. Can't really do Jackbox with 2 people, unfortunately, Mubs. And to be fair, I've been live for about 5.5 hours now, so I'm going to be going and having my Christmas dinner after we finish this cube. Which is, I think, reasonable. Okay, so this is fine. We can just set up Witch's Oven and stomp our opponent's idiot. And just keep playing like a fair red-black mid-range game for now. Solemn Simulacrum. That's a pretty good one. Solemn is pretty good. Very glad that I killed that crab. Let's put it that way. Fetches a green source. I don't think I have to Vraska's Contempt this Solemn just yet, so I'm going to cast my Bone Crusher, give myself a threat to be able to push damage with, should I choose to remove this out of the way. Opponent really is just like 5 colours. That would be why. They have a Golos in their deck. Very glad that I didn't kill this now. Let's put it that way. Whew. I was wondering why my opponent had so many weird lands peppered through their deck when there didn't seem to be anything more than like Esper. And that would make some sense. No land here is a bit unfortunate. I think I'm just going to kill the Golos, and if my opponent wants to draw a card with Solemn Simulacrum, I think I'm okay with that. They do not. Interesting. A little bit surprising. Kind of expected a block there. Saw that like that. Urian. That would be why. Okay. Opponent has the Sky Noodle. Gets to do all kinds of funky stuff here. Nicely done, Mubs. Nicely done. Opponent will search up another land. Yeah, Rampaging Ferocidon is a largely underappreciated card. And until you've played it against it enough times, you don't realise just how annoying it is. Okay. If I want a good attack here, I have to Vraska's Contempt this Urian, which I'm kind of okay with. Just get it out of the way. And I'll offer the same trade as before. Yeah, obviously it's fantastic against Field of the Dead, for sure. Opponent probably blocks this time. No. Do they have a way of flickering this again? Maybe. Very surprised to see it not get cashed in that time. Unless there is another way to trigger the Solemn Simulacrum. They do have their Teferi's Tutelage. I don't think so. Opponent might have made the correct choice here, because drawing a card with Solemn Simulacrum when Tutelage is in play is much better than drawing a card when it isn't in play. Has the Folio too? Okay, this is going to get... oh, in your game, sure, the Field of the Dead player. I get you. I get you. You confused me for a second there. This is going to get really sticky. I need to try and kill my opponent with some amount of haste before the rest of my deck disappears. Thankfully, this Hellrider should help with that a little bit. Bastion of Remembrance. That might be okay in the future. Let's slam Hellrider and start kicking face in. Please and thank you. Beep beep. Hellrider triggers. I love this card as well. Like, Hellrider was a card that was very sweet to play in its standard format. Played very well with like the token decks and stuff like that. Would love to see a card like this printed back in standard. Would be a really good aggressive threat. Opponent will block, and I imagine sacrifice in order to exile my graveyard. Yep. Nice, okay. We're shaping up alright here. Opponent will mill me for 2 more cards. Mills 2 things that aren't particularly relevant. Young Pyromancer and Knight of the Ebon Legion. That one's pretty bad. That one is pretty good. Getting finality'd by the blue-white deck feels awful, I might add. Experimental Frenzy isn't bad. We're gonna sacrifice this giant to make a food too. But yeah, that's a real icky one. Opponent will draw off the Solemn and mill me for 2 more cards. Only 15 cards left. 2 lands were on top though, so that's okay. Which is Cultrum. Would like to have picked this up myself, to be honest, but did not find it. Okay. I think I have to Frenzy now. Of course there's a land on top. Gah. At least it gets milled, I guess. Oh, there's a Banneret. 12 cards left. This one's going to be quite tough to get 7 damage in now. Opponent bolts themselves. Oh, I guess I just die, right? Draw 4. Does that kill me? I might as well let it happen, and then I can figure out whether it kills me or not. Yeah, it mills me for 8 cards, right? Yeah. Nicely done by opponent. Alright, we're going to have to take game 3 then. Try and take game number tray. That's a little unfortunate, but nicely navigated by the opponent. Was played out very well. I'm impressed. Haven't really got to do our sweet synergies yet, to be honest, so far. We've been a bit unfortunate with our draws. There is a nice hand here, though. Doesn't really get to use these very well just yet, but Chandra is pretty absurd, so no chance we're ever mulliganing this hand. It is quite good. Think I prefer Banneret here, honestly, as opposed to Blood Artist. This is better being held back until I can make use of it, I think. This plays a bit better with Judith next turn. Opponent will mill me for 4. Vraska's Contempt is okay. Let's just start getting our beat down on. Hopefully I draw an untapped land to make this Chandra next turn instead of turn 5. I do. Opponent doesn't have Disallow mana up, so I'm probably just going to slam, to be brutally honest. Supreme Will, sure. A little bit unfortunate, but to be expected, I suppose. There's that Solemn Simulacrum again. Guess we could do with a black source to punch through that. There it is. Sweet. Let's get this thing exiled. Alright, so we are setting ourselves up nicely here to be able to kill in 2 turns, depending on what our opponent does. Cast the 0/4, sure. That is fine. Okay, a little worried about what's going on in the hand over there, but it should be fine. I'm going to activate Goblin Banneret. Cast myself an Anax. Murderous Riders to Judith. It got Supreme Willed, unfortunately, Mubs. Was a victim of Supreme Will. Alright, so we are able to kill our opponent next turn, assuming nothing changes in this spot. Got caught by Supreme Will. There is the Murderous Rider. Into Folio. Okay. So how does this play out? If I pump you twice... Yeah, that's got to be better, right? So, activate. Activate. Cast Blood Heist. And then hold the Gazul's Fury for next turn. Swing Mentor onto this. And hopefully the Fury can get us over the line next turn. This one's close. Definitely close. I don't have a lot of gas left. So 3 Blood Artist triggers and an Anax trigger. I'll target my opponent, thanks, Blood Artist. I appreciate you asking, though. Better safe than sorry, I guess. Seagate Restoration, probably not going to help you very much here, bud, I'm afraid. Witch's Cauldron, yeah, you are dead. Very, very dead. Attack for 5. And I could just Spikefield, just Kazul's Fury like we planned, but Spikefield Hazard is somehow funnier. So, please take 1. Nice. Alright, cool. That was really smooth. I enjoyed that. I am going to take that opportunity to give away 1 more collected company code. I've only got like 3 or 4 left. So if you're still in the market for the Extra Life Unique Art Collected Company, dropping codes in chat to celebrate the festive season. If you're the first person to claim the code, it is yours. Take it, take it, take it. Good luck with it. We got 1 more match to play with this deck. I'm going to take a quick second to use the bathroom, and I'll be right back for match 3 in just a moment. So don't go anywhere. We'll carry on in just a sec. Few weeks. We're doing them 1 a week. There's a winner's bracket, a loser's bracket, so on and so forth. As long as we can stay in the winner's bracket, great. If not, if we're in the loser's bracket, we'll try and battle our way through. But basically, there are prizes for top 3 finishes. So we're going to do our best to do some networking, meet some people, play some great players. There's some pretty reasonable names in this event. People like Jason Florian, Danny T-Law, you know, well-known streamers. And we're lucky to have been invited to play by the lovely Charizard James. So this is the round of 16. It's week number 1. No one has lost or won yet. And it is last hero standing format, which means that we both have 3 decks. If we win with them, we get to keep the deck. If we lose with them, the deck gets eliminated. The last person with a deck left wins. Where's Commander's Cores? Sadly, I did not invite players, so good question. You can ask James, I'm sure. But we're currently 1-1 here. Svi Mixon has eliminated my rogue deck. I lost with that to Green Food. And I eliminated Green Food with Teamer Urian. So we are now currently Teamer Urian versus Blue-Black Control to see who gets... Oh, I am sorry, Morgasm. I've done that twice today. Just too focused on other things. But I am back. I am sorry. I have unmuted myself. That hand was not a keep, largely because I couldn't cast Anax, was the thought process there. I am guilty of doing that a few times today. Sorry. Think I'm happy putting the Slaughter Priest back here and leaving myself set up to removal spell into Anax into Frenzy. Too occupied with other things. It's not good. Alright, cool. Mountain, let's go. Skyclave Shade, this is a nice one. So, I'm going to hold on the removal for this until after my opponent plays the land. A Ketra's Monument. That needs to get abraded. This card is really scary, so that needs to go. Please and thank you. Okay, cool. Anax seems better than Bastion on turn 3 here, so we'll do that. Excuse me, what? No blocks is fine here. Oh, Ranger of Eos. Opponent's deck's looking cool. Definitely looking cool. What are you getting off the Ranger? What one drops have we got? Knight of the Ebon Legion, Stonecoil Serpent. Okay. Definitely some fruity options over there. Try and set ourselves up to have a good frenzy turn moving forward. There's the Knight. Opponent has played their land already, which is kind of strange. Thought they would have done that before attacking, but Stonecoil for 3. Oh god. That just made my Heartless Act so much worse. Panic. I think the word is panic. I don't think we can do anything about that. Honestly. That is quite the start. Okay, I will concede to Skyclave Apparition. My opponent should have just flipped the Frenzy out of the way, as opposed to Anax, because Anax just doesn't matter. But yeah, we got ruined there. That was quite a firm kicking by our opponent. Let's try and avoid any more of that. Whoa. Gotta get the bad game out of the way early, right? That's the way it goes. Just get the bad game out of the way early, nothing to worry about. Opponent's deck looks very cool though. You don't see enough people playing the black-white combinations in this cube. They're a little harder to draft, but they are really sweet. I guess like the phrase is probably less obviously powerful. They are quite good, but they're like synergistic as opposed to just like raw power level. Kind of like this deck, honestly, to an extent. Cannot keep a one-lander. Yeah, this is not stellar either, to be honest, but I think it's a keep, just about. I'm going to choose to keep the Spike Field Cave, so that I can cast Anax on curve, as opposed to the Swamp. Sky Marcher Aspirant, okay. So they have a selection of good 1-drops to play with the old Ranger of Eos. Corpse Knight. Okay, opponent's deck is really sweet. I like this a lot. I guess I should wait to make this trade until I cast Anax. Probably a bit better for me. I will trade it off because I am not triggering Pyromancer at the moment, but I should at least try and get a token out of it. Selfless Savior. That one's quite good. They got all the good 1-drops. Nice. This could get into a real messy board state real fast, depending on what my opponent has access to. Alright. Let's set up Bastion of Remembrance then. And get ready to grind. Let's get ready to grind. Okay. Ba-dum-bum. Knight of the Airborne Legion, yep. I think I can afford to take the turn to play the Captivating Crew. I haven't got any way to get rid of stuff that that I steal yet, but if I draw one of the cheap ones like Village Rites or Witch's Oven, I would rather have the crew in play so it only takes me drawing a land to be able to do both in the same turn. Skymarch Aspirant has gained flying. I will briefly do this. Would really like a black source here. Help Vraska's Contempt away this Knight of the Ebon Legion. That is a Hell Rider. It's not quite what I was looking for. Might have to just push it in and see how far pushing it in goes. I like it. Hell Rider, off you go. Let's get aggressive because I think we're in trouble on the other end of the spectrum. Attack for lethal, quote unquote. Wants to trade for Captivating Crew. Makes sense. You go to 4. I will trigger. Make some dudes. I think it's very hard for my opponent to beat this now, right? They can't 15 me this turn very easily. Yep, okay. Game 3. All the marbles. Hell Rider there showing exactly why it's such a brilliant little card. Just ties stuff like Anax and the Sacrifice synergies all together. It's really sweet. Lets you do some very, very cool things. Game 3. It'd be good to put the enemy's deck out of commission, yeah? Yeah, definitely. This hand is good. This hand is actively very good. Priest into Chandra is fantastic. How are you today, Cash? Hopefully you're having a lovely holiday. Thank you for stopping by. Knight of the Ebon Legion. Would really like this Priest of the Forgotten Gods to survive. If it survives, I imagine we're in great shape. Chandra Torture Defiance as well. Alright, this is going to be quite the curve. Quite the curve. Knight of their own. If you can't kill the priest, buddy, this is not going to go well for you. So many Chandras. All the Chandras. Alright, let's take 2. Hello, Rye. Merry Christmas. Hopefully you're having a lovely day as well. Thanks for stopping in today and saying hello. I appreciate that. Chandra. 0. Activate. Upstairs. Sack these elementals that were not going to be with us very long anyway. Opponent, please sacrifice a creature. Goes with the Corpse Knight. I'll make 2 black and cast a Blood Heist. It's been really cool to see how many people have stopped in today, honestly. I said it a couple hours ago. We've been live for nearly 6 hours now, which is insane. But I said it a few hours ago that I honestly thought we were going to be very dead today. Like, very, very quiet, because people were going to be off doing, you know, family stuff. And surprisingly, we've actually been quite busy over the course of the day. It's been very nice. This Maul of the Skyclaves is a little unfortunate because it means that we don't get to keep making elementals to dump on our opponent. But I don't think we're in bad shape still. Still think this is pretty good for us. Just means no Chandra. Yeah, it's a shame. Like, it didn't run out perfectly for us, but we're still in pretty fantastic shape. Honestly, Rye, you're not the first person to say that, but I really appreciate it. Like, I'm so glad that people have, like, gained something from me being live and chilling today. People have been super generous. There's been gifted subs, there's been follows, there's been donations. And that kind of stuff really means a lot when you're trying to, quote-unquote, make it as a streamer, you know? So I'm just happy that I've been able to have fun, everyone else has been able to have fun, we've played some good Magic. It's been really sweet. It's been a lovely day. Blood Heist, continuing to show you why it is the king. We're finally getting to do the synergy stuff that this deck can do, which we haven't managed to do very often since we drafted it, but it's doing some cool stuff. Yeah, man, Blood Artist is just... Yeah, it's just... Need more of that in my life. Act of Treason would have been like the perfects here, but you know, I'm not going to complain. My opponent is still very, very dead. And they agree. Goodbye, sweet prince. I think we've 2-1'd every single cube today. That does mean, however, I will give away one more lovely collected company code for folks that might want that. Courtesy of that win. So if you haven't had an extra life collected company yet, you can grab one by being the first person to redeem the code that just went in the chat. Let's claim our prizes, break even and pick up some rares, which is what we've been doing most of today. Perfectly reasonable.